65, always one of the toughest weights at the World and Olympic Championships. And this year is no different. I'm not going to run through the top 8 seeds. Yeah. But, Christian, who are, you think, the favorites here and some guys to watch?
I mean, Kozak did a great job in his preview. He breaks it down. The favorites, contenders, then we call them dark horses. And he's got 3 favorites listed, and I can't disagree with it. He's got Musakayev, the reigning world champion, Mammadov of Russia, and Amuzad of Iran. And it does feel like these are kind of the big 3. But I think behind this weight class, where I felt like in 57, you've got the big cluster. You could kind of see some other guys entering in maybe. Excuse me. It's tougher to see some of those other guys breaking into that top group. Whereas I feel like in 65, some of these dudes in the contenders list, I could absolutely see them wrestling in the Olympic finals or even winning the Olympics.
65 is always just about who gets hot.
It's vibes.
Yeah.
But more true is just like the matchups. Like, how do you match up with? And there's so many. What's fun about this one is there's so many different freaking skill sets here. You've got the Amazad and Tumur Ochir, who are like the best with control ties and underhooks and that kind of style. And then you have this crazy burst with Musakayev, and then you have Mammadov, who's slick with his duck unders, and you have Aliyev, who has all this experience and can score 1,000 different ways himself. And there's others I'm leaving out. It's Zain Rutherford, who probably brings the best combination of pace and physicality and relentless, like just six minutes of heck coming at you the whole time. Then there's guys I didn't even get to mention, right? You got the reigning world silver, Sebastian Rivera's there. So I think that's what makes this weight so insane. And the favorites, though, what do you guys think? Should anyone else enter that conversation of Musakayev, Mammadov, Amazad? I think it's right, but that's not to say aren't other guys that can win the Olympics.
I think it's right.
Yeah. Just based on what they've been able to prove. And I think it's right. And with Musakayev, I do feel like he's taken losses in the last year, but I feel like skill for skill, he's the best.
He's the people's champ.
He's the people's champ, but also
Your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler.
He's not only the people's champ, he's the actual champ. Yeah. He beat all these guys like in a row. This guy wept after he won his semifinal match because of the gauntlet he just run. He had to beat Amazad. He had to beat Mammadov. He had to beat did he beat Aliyev? He had another really good win on his side.
He had to beat
not Aliyev.
He had to beat Mammadov. He had to beat who else? He had to beat Japan.
Odaguro. Yeah. Exactly. The Olympic champ.
The reigning Olympic champ.
So I feel like him being able to prove that is a real statement to this weight. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, if you're looking for a dark horse, speaking of Japan, Kyuka, the guy, it's not Odaguru for the first time in a while, because this guy is the guy who beat the guy. We all think very highly of Odaguru, but Americans aren't going to be as familiar with this guy because Odaguru has held down that spot internationally for a while. But this dude good. Don't sleep on this guy.
He's tough. I am not impressed by him. Relative to this field, I think Kyuka's going to have a hard time. And he beat Musakayev, and that match was sort of
the ranking series recently.
Sort of strange. I don't feel like it would happen again. Just my opinion. He's obviously a guy. He's a contender for sure. But I don't fear him like I would a Odaguru or some of these other dudes. But he just what he does is just add to the already insane depth at this weight class.
That makes me Musakayev losing to him though at the ranking series makes me wonder, like, is Musakayev, did he get his world title under his belt? Is he taking his foot off the gas?
Come on, dog.
He's a guy who's always had gas tank problems.
This is the Olympics. This is the Olympics. This is another bad Tyler take.
Another
bad Tyler take.
You put him on.
He just lost and he was gassed.
If you're gonna deal speed, you got to wear the.
Did he wrestle in the Olympics in 2016?
No.
All right, forget it then.
No, he got hope.
Or I mean, in 2021 is what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
He did.
Yeah.
And did he get gassed?
I don't know if he got gassed. You don't know.
I don't know.
You're saying like you know. You don't know. Put on the speed dealer.
He didn't win.
Yeah, and then he didn't win the year after that too. But guess what? He won in 2023 and looked phenomenal.
And he was, I don't know, dude. the losses that this guy has, you got to be concerned for his success.
Yeah, of course. He's not a surefire lock to win it again. He's not that guy. There's never going to be, I think, that guy at 65.
I think it's ridiculous to just think that he's like, that his gas tank problems are just fixed now and that he'll be the exact same guy at the Olympics.
I don't think he gassed against Kyuka. It wasn't that.
No.
He just, it's like, yeah.
I also think even with his, if you go rewind 4 years with his gas tank, he's a huge issue.
Yeah,
and could still win because he was always just that good.
He beat Amazad at the buzzer.
Look,
think he's going to get in worse shape?
He is my favorite wrestler to watch, like, of all time. So I'm not like, I have nothing against the guy. I'm just saying.
Take that, Miles Amin.
No, he's one of my favorite international wrestlers, like, ever. If you have not watched Musakaev, you have to. But I have questions about his gas tank. Let me say this. If we're picking a place for Zain Rutherford to get dropped into this bracket, I want him in the quadrant with Musakaev.
Musakaev? Yeah.
That is where I would, if you want Zain Rutherford to have like the best draw, I think that is where he should be.
Yeah, if I'm like a massive Musakaev fan, and that's the matchup that would make me nervous.
You want him in the same quadrant that we wanted Spencer Lee. I think that bottom half, top quadrant, if you could go Aliyev, then Musakaev.
I don't know, man.
And then Amazon.
I'd rather be up top. I think we can figure out Ochir and Tavanyan easily. Now we're in the semis.
Yeah,
Get the
but then you have Mamadov.
I wouldn't say easily. I wouldn't say you could figure him out easily. You lost to him at the
it was right there.
qualifier. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're talking about Musakaev. They're all savage.
They're all savage. But matchup-wise,
I totally disagree.
Matchup-wise, Musakaev versus Zain?
You don't want to be on the side of Musakaev, Aliyev, and Amazad. That is just not a side you want to be on.
If we want to talk more about the what are we calling them? The favorites? Mm-hmm. I think Mamadov is the favorite to win this bracket.
Really?
He's my pick for gold.
That was Kozak's pick. Yeah. The only reason, I'm not going to pick him, but statistically or probability-wise, it makes sense to pick him knowing he's going to be opposite the other two. He only has to beat one of them. So from a probability, even if you thought Musakaev is 5 percentage points better, which could be debated, the fact that he would have to beat Amazad and Mamadov makes it less likely to happen. Then again, that's a little dismissive of the rest of the field. But I'm sorry, that top side versus the bottom side, it's.
Look at Mamadov folding this guy on screen.
Yeah, I don't want to wrestle Mamadov because I don't want him to do this to me.
Look at this.
That's why I won't wrestle.
Hey, that was number one move. And you don't want to get hit on draft right there. The spladle.
I do not want.
It's not even a spladle, is it? It's like a weird.
It's part bundle, part spladle.
Yeah.
No, actually.
What even is that?
I think maybe, Christian, you're right. You do want him against Ochir first round, which sucks first round.
It all sucks.
Exactly.
They're so good.
But then if you beat Ochir, I feel decent about Zain beating Tavanyan, even though he's the number one seed. But then if you lose to Mamadov, you're still in repechage. Whereas if you lose to Musakaev in the quarters, there's a decent shot he loses to Amuzad.
Also, if you wrestle Musakaev in the quarters, that means you had to beat Haji Aliyev to get there. That's
true.
Guys.
I did think Haji Aliyev is a little past his prime.
He's still winning matches, though.
I don't know. We've seen a decent amount of people take him out, though. Like, who did we saw? Aliris beat him. Alec Pantelios beat him at 70 kilograms. Like, he's lost to some American guys. I want to say there's one more guy that I am not thinking of. Did Evan Henderson ever beat him?
No, he's lost plenty. He's lost plenty, but he's still winning.
He's got one tournament left in him.
He got one more in him.
I like Zayn's chances against Aliyev a lot, and matchup-wise, I like his chances against Musakaev, personally. Do I think that Musakaev is better than Tavanyan and Ochir? Yes, even though Ochir has beaten him. But everyone has, so.
Yeah.
These are two guys. Aliyev and Musakaev are two guys everyone has beaten, but also you're so scared of them because when it matters, they're so good.
They're everyone's best win. So Mamadov, he is really tough. He's really young. He hits this duck under against a lot of really good guys. It's kind of like a duck under he hit against Amazad to beat him right at the end. That was a great match, which you should watch. It looked very much like a gold medal match. But I don't know. I think he's good, but he doesn't. To me, he's not. I get why you guys think he's the best, but he's not. I think skill for skill, Musakayev is better. He proved it in the match.
Skill for skill, he has the most skills, the best.
Musakayev.
Yes, for sure. I will not disagree with that.
So now
I was only talking about with Zain.
Yeah. So I that's why Musakayev is my pick to win this weight class. I really think he is.
Which is fair
Let's
because
go.
you got to feel if Musakayev, if the same Musakayev that was there in 2023 shows up to the Olympics, this is a guy who could hand fight with Amuzad and
really did.
stay in shape and not get tired against him. You don't want that version of him against Zain for sure.
No, you don't. Although I do feel like this could be just like me being an American homer, but I feel like he hasn't faced someone like that in the last year that challenges your tank the way he's even Amazad. I don't know. I think Zain brings about a different level of like, because with Amazon you're in some.
It's kind of a spaz.
Yeah, he's just in and out, boom, boom. It's just different.
It's not just forward pressure, not just get to an underhook, march forward, take ground.
And like with Amazon, a lot of it's like static, and you end up holding in some positions. Like Zane's just like, would you relax?
You
Hold
always
still.
have to be on edge when you wrestle Zain because you never know when he's gonna shoot. Like Amazad, you feel pretty comfortable about him if he's not in the tie, right? But with Zain, you always mentally that can be draining when you always feel like this guy can attack me from anywhere.
I don't think shooting on Musakayev is the move though, unless you're in the
No.
last minute of the match.
No.
Which Zayn did a good job of at the World Qualifier. I felt like he was disciplined in his shot entry and when he chose to attack, but he did a good job of hand fighting hard, taking ground, and still continuing to kind of wear these guys out with his high pace while not taking errant shots.
Yeah. No, I feel like the improvements he's made just in like his match tactics are insane. His entry into like Zayn, if you line up all these other athletes compared to Zayn's not the most elite athlete, right? He's probably in that middle sort of tier for level of athlete. But his timing into the leg and how he gets to his shots is really, really impressive. And when he's getting in, he's not getting counterscored. Like that was a thing that he early in his freestyle, like 2017, he could have a hard time with some of the exchanges. Now he's really good scrambler. He's not going to get counterscored as much. He's a nightmare draw. He really can win the Olympics.
So Zayn, who we have as a contender. We also got Ochir. We got Akhmat Aliyev, Aliyev, and Tavanyan. So of those guys, I like Zayn the most. I mean, he obviously lost to Ochir, but
I view them pretty similarly. I mean, Ochir has beaten almost everyone. He's beaten Musakayev, I think. He's beaten Almazad. I don't know if has he wrestled Mamadov?
Zayn?
No,
Sorry.
Tolga.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but he's beaten a lot of the best guys. So I put them kind of in a similar category. Like they could be Olympic finalists. Ernie, I don't know if he has the offense to get
Big Earn.
You have to win so many matches to get that far. So I think there is a little more separation there. And yeah, you guys are right about Aliyev. It's a scarier name to see.
Yeah.
You see, it's like, oh gosh. But then if you look at the results, also this guy just like wrestles all the time too.
Yeah.
He just shows up everywhere.
Which you got to pay him respect for that.
How many times has he gone to a World or Olympics and not placed?
A lot.
Pretty, really?
Uh,
And not placed?
maybe not a lot. I can think of a couple.
All right.
Over 20?
No.
Not that much.
All right.
Cool.
Let's predict. Let's get to our medal predictions.
Ooh, baby.
Are we in agreement that we want to see Zayn in that top quarter? I think that's the best.
What if Kyuka gets tossed in that top quarter as well, and then he has to go through Ochir, Kyuka, and Mamadov to make it to the finals? I don't know about that.
I ain't worried about that. I mean, it's all worrisome,
Yeah.
but
There's no
yeah.
good draw.
There's not a good one, but there's better ones.
So you know, yeah. I mean, the question is, would you rather the toughest guy in your quadrant be Tavanyan, Mamedov, Musakayev, or Amuzad. That's kind of, and I think you'd rather see Tavanyan, right? You have a better
Well,
chance. Getting
I think a lot of us
toughest
say,
in
yeah,
that quarter.
Ochir would be
maybe he
the
is
toughest.
better. Maybe he's tougher. I know.
It's just Tavanyan's the 1 seed,
yeah.
but that's not rankings based.
Give me
that's
top. Give me
seed
top
points.
quarter.
Here's a case for second quarter. If you get Seabass round 1, I think I mean that's a lot of USA intrigue, but I think Zayn wins that match. And then you have Mamedov, and you can say, do you want him that early? Maybe not, because anything can happen. But it looks like he'll probably pull you through, and you'll get to come back. So a higher probability, and you can avoid some of those guys up there.
We don't avoid them if he beats.
No, yeah, top. I'm not changing my mind. Well, you do. You do.
What does
here's
Zayn
the
versus
thing.
Amuzad look like? How do we think he hangs in that match?
I don't know. I think that's a really tough matchup.
Yeah.
I think anytime you're wrestling someone that has a skill set like that, it's so unique and like you can't really replicate it. I get a little nervous, and he's not going to get tired.
Also, you don't feel great about Amuzad making the finals because he's on the same side as Musakayev.
Yeah. I mean, that was a buzzer beater win for Musakayev. I mean, that's close to a coin flip.
This is what I'm saying. This weight is all about who is hot on the Olympics.
Yes.
Day, on
Who do you
Olympic
think's
day.
hot?
Who's the hottest guy here?
Yeah.
Shane Sparks.
I mean,
Man.
are we? Do you want to do dark horses first, and then we'll jump into who we think is the hottest guy in this bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So dark horses, we got Seabass Rivera. Austin Gomez will be in this bracket. We got Kuka, and then Dudayev is the 7 seed.
Dudayev, he represents Albania, but he's Russian. Another tough guy who I would say is a medal threat. I don't think he's a title threat, but if he gets hot, I think his potential wrestling his best is to sneak in a bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Feel that.
But even then, if he's on this side of the bracket, it's like, probably not.
Yeah.
He would have to beat Musakayev or Amuzad.
Hey, sad boy hours, repechage, it happens.
It's true.
It could happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like Musakayev, like say Dudayev loses to Amuzad, Amuzad beats Musakayev, Dudayev gets a sad Musakayev who's maybe not at his best. I could see that being a victory.
I think of all these dark horses, the favorite to earn a medal is Kyuka.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because he is still kind of an unknown. He beat Musakayev. It's hard to see Seabass, Gomez, or Dudayev beating. Like, you got to beat an Amuzad, you got to beat Musakayev, or if you're on top side, you have to beat an Ochir or maybe Tavanyan. So maybe they could beat one of those guys on top, but I think Kyuka for sure is the best threat for a medal out of that group.
Cool. All right, we want to do our podium.
Hit the podium.
Did it.
Moment of truth. Okay, I'm gonna stick with what I've been saying. I'm gonna go Musakayev, Olympic champion. I believe he beats Mamedov in the final. I have out of that top side winning the bronze medal, Zain Rutherford. We manifested him in the top, and he beats all those other guys for bronze. And on the bottom, I think Amuzad gets bronze on the bottom.
I'll go Mamedov gold, Musakayev silver, Amuzad bronze, and then the second bronze is tricky. I want to go Zayn. I do feel really good about Zayn. I've felt really good about Zayn, but Ochir is so tough. I'll go Zayn though.
Rewatch that match. You'll feel better about what you just said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
was just rewatching it this morning, and I was like, okay, he could beat him for sure.
It's just the kind of KO X factor that Ochir has of just putting you to your back and
Yeah, you
digging a hole.
1-4 is so scary against that guy. I totally agree with that.
So that's what scares me, but
I love that
Zayn
he's
knows
wrestled
that.
him.
Yes.
I love that he's wrestled him.
so I'm going Mamedov gold,
Ooh.
Musakayev silver, Amuzad bronze, Zayn Rutherford bringing home Team USA a bronze medal.
I think, man, what's crazy is this Russia's only shot to win a gold medal?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
And Mongoose isn't. Heavyweight, no way. 97, no way.
Yeah.
86, no way. 74,
No,
they
this is
didn't.
it.
They didn't get in.
This is the one right here.
Yeah. So
If you can't count transfers, they might get a few more.
Yeah, I won't.
Man, I'm trying to decide if I want to make my actual prediction or if I want to spice things up because you guys already made the safe picks.
Keep it. Put on the speed dealers and be courageous.
Here we go.
All right, here we go. Get ready, boys.
All right. I'm going to go Zain Rutherford, gold.
Let's go.
Love it.
I'm going to go Mamedov, silver. Musakayev, bronze. So what I put Zain on the bottom.
You need a top side bronze.
Side bronze. I'm going to go Kyuka bronze.
Okay. You drew him in at the top side.
I drew him on the top side.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay.
Let me see the blockchain and make sure you drew them in right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exciting. I mean, you're crazy. I mean, Zayn absolutely can win this way.
Yeah.
He really can.
Speaking of hot guys, you know who I was afraid of when he was like completely on his run was Amuzad. He freaked me out when he was 22.
22, yeah.
So I think
Popped out. So we were at Worlds in 2022, and me and Kozak are because we were like interviewing guys as they come off, and Yanni was wrestling him in the finals, and so we're in the back room of the TV, like right next to where the guys will come out where we interview them, and all the Iranian media, they have so many guys, and I think they're all like live streaming the matches just from the TVs, like to their families or to like groups of people in Iran.
Simple piracy, yeah.
So they're all standing up there filming, and this one guy looks back and he points at Amazad, like as he's beating Yanni, he's like, Yazdani number 2. And I was like, man, he might be, because that was like when he first popped onto the scene. You're like, man, is this guy just going to be dominant at 65 for a while? And then
yeah, he's really good. He's not as physically overwhelming as Hassan is.
I also just don't think you can be that dominant at 65 kilograms because of the depth of the weight class every year and the skill set it takes to be good at a lighter weight. That it creates more actions, which lead to more variance in results. So
who's the last back-to-back winner of this weight class? That's what maybe I should put the speed dealers on, because the idea that anyone's going to win this in back-to-back years is kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the odds of Musakayev doing it are like probably stacked against him.
I
mean that's all fake odds, but
fake odds, but yeah, it just basically doesn't happen.
Amuzad lost twice at last Worlds. He lost to Musakayev, and then who did he lose for bronze? Mamedov.
Hit that duck. And also, like, I'm sort of like, can a guy whose primary offense is a duck under win
Amuzad
5? That makes me a little.
He was leading on Musakayev, and I'm not going to say it was intentional, but there was kind of a singlet pull there to that ended up in Musakayev's takedown at the end.
That's ridiculous.
It was hard to notice, and maybe not intentional. I don't think it was intentional at all, but you
just had to put it out there.
After the fact, it's like, okay, that's a little bit there.
Ismail, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
No, Musakayev, look, man, you're my favorite guy.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, all you've done is run counter narratives to him the entire show.
I'm trying to keep it interesting, but I love that guy.
Okay.
My favorite wrestler to watch.
I'm sure.
Let's see your predictions, Bray.
I'm going Amuzad finds the hot streak again. Okay. I think he gets it.
We all went different golds.
He's gonna have to win a bunch of close matches though. He's not gonna be able to just like kill everyone like he did. But he's gonna beat Musakayev, who's gonna come back for bronze. And then on the top side, I think Mamedov wins. Zayn's bronze.
Cool.
And for those of you who don't know, Musakayev also has kind of like a cool like redemption story where he a little bit got cheated out of an Olympic spot in Russia for 2016, was it?
Yeah, only a little bit.
Try to take on Big Diamond.
I'm being gentle here,
diplomatic.
But and then he transferred and then won his first world title last year.
Yeah,
he's a really cool story.
Yep, Connor did a video about it. You should watch it.
You should watch it.
It's on our YouTube channel. JD will link it in the description for us.
That's right. Worst gas tank to world champ.
Yeah, worst gas tank to world champ. That's it.
So that's the name of it.
Okay, yeah.